Good day, everyone, and especially to Dr. Manuel Romancer, our professor for this subject, and of course to all my classmates. I am hoping that you are all well today, notwithstanding the heat temperature that we are facing nowadays. Today, we'll be comprehending about the personal appraisal and one of the performance management tools, which is the behaviorally anchored rating scale. Before I will start my discussion, let me first introduce myself. I am Gleir Damo, and let me start my report with this quote. Evaluate what you want because what gets measured gets produced. That is according to James A. Velasco. So, this quote emphasizes the importance of setting clear goals and measuring progress towards whatever goals you have. So when we actively evaluate and measure our desired outcomes, we are more likely to achieve them. So this concept can be related to performance appraisal as our topic right now. So let us define what is a performance appraisal. So performance appraisal is the periodic assessment of an employee's job performance is measured by the competency expectations set out by the organization. A performance appraisal is a process where an employee's job performance is evaluated occasionally. So it involves evaluating the employee's performance based on the competency expectations established by, of course, the organization. So these expectations usually include different aspects such as the skills, knowledge, behavior, and outcomes related to the employee's role and responsibilities. So who is the appraiser? So the appraiser is often a supervisor or manager. So they will provide the employee with the constructive, actionable feedback based on the assessment. And now, what is the purpose of a performance appraisal? It's twofold purpose. So it helps the organization to determine the value and productivity that employees can contribute, and it also helps employees to develop their own rules. Now let's talk about the benefits of performance appraisal for organization. Employee assessments can make difference in the performance of an organization. So, why performance appraisal is important in an organization? Because it helps evaluating, identifying, and developing the work performance of an employee. So, it assists the organization in achieving the objectives and, of course, their goals. First is that increased productivity and work quality. So performance appraisals help identify areas where management can improve working conditions, remove obstacles, and enhance employee productivity, and of course, what we call the quality of their work. Next is address behavioral issues. So by conducting regular assessments, organization can identify and address any behavioral issues before they negatively impact the departmental productivity or the team dynamics. Next one is they take recognition and motivation. So performance appraisal provide an opportunity to recognize employees' talents, skills, and contributions. So this recognition can motivate, of course, employees to continue performing at a high level and encourage them to contribute more to the organization. Next is that support skill in career development. Performance appraisals allow organizations to assess employees' strengths and, of course, areas for improvement. So this information can be used to provide targeted support, can give them training, and of course for self-development opportunities that help them or can help employees in enhance their skills and advance in their career paths. So next is It can help with the strategic decision making. So performance appraisal provide valuable insights into employees' performance, of course, their potential and readiness for advancement. So this information is crucial in making strategic decisions related to promotion, succession planning, and of course, internal role filing or even layoffs. Next one is that goal setting and alignment. Performance appraisal allow organizations to set clear goals and expectation for their employees. So by aligning individual goals with the respective organizational objectives, employees can work together with the common targets, ensuring that their efforts can more contribute to the overall success of the organization. Next one is that communication and transparency. Performance appraisal facilitate open communication between, of course, the manager and their employees. Communication and transparency. So performance appraisals facilitate open communication between manager and employees. So it encourages both of them to have a dialogue about their expectations, what are those challenges that they are facing within the organization, and any opportunities for growth development or growth of their career. So this transparency fosters trust within the organization, and it can build stronger relationship between the manager and of course their team. Last one is that a legal compliance. So performance appraisal help organization to meet legal requirements by documenting the employees' performance and of course providing them a fair evaluation process. So this documentation can be crucial. So in case of any disputes or legal issues related to performance or employment decisions. So next is that what are the benefits for employees? So performance appraisals are meant to provide a positive outcome for employees. So the insights gained from assessing and of course discussing an employee's performance can help first with feedback and growth opportunities. So performance appraisals provide employees with feedback on their performance, highlighting their strengths and areas for improvement. So this feedback helps them understand how they are perceived within the organization, and of course provides a roadmap for their personal growth. So that's the most important thing. So next one is skill development and training. So by identifying areas of improvement through performance appraisals, employees can receive targeted training and development opportunities that enhance their skills and increase their value within the organization. So this is the most second important when it comes to the benefit of the employee, that you are going to continue with your career development, undergoing some seminars or trainings to widen or broaden your knowledge. Next one is that recognition and rewards. So performance appraisals offer a platform for recognizing employees' achievements, talents, and contributions. So this recognition can lead to increased job satisfaction, and of course, it can motivate them to, of course, the employee, and potentially result in giving rewards to the employee, such as promotions or salary increases. Next is the career advancement opportunities. Through performance appraisals, employees can showcase their capabilities and potential for advancement. So these can open doors for career growth within the organization, including opportunities for promotion or taking on new responsibilities. Last one is that self-awareness and goal setting. So performance appraisal facilitates self-reflection and of course self-awareness by enabling employees to assess their own performance. So this awareness helps them set their goals, align their efforts with the organizational objectives, and work towards personal and, of course, professional development. Performance appraisal benefit both the organization and its employees. So by fostering a culture of continuous improvement and recognition in growth. What are the 5 modern methods of performance appraisal? First is self-evaluation, behavioral checklist, 360-degree feedback, rating scale, and management by objectives. So let us explain the self-evaluation. So in this method, employees assess their own performance against a set list of criteria. So it helps the employees prepare for their performance assessment and encourages dialogue during the official performance interview. So that is self-evaluation. While the behavioral checklist, this method, using a yes or no checklist only against a series of traits or behaviors. So supervisor mark yes or if they believe the employee has exhibited the trait, and no if they haven't. So it is the simplicity and focus on work-related tasks and behaviors. While the 360-degree feedback, this type of review includes feedback from not only the manager and the employee, but also for the team members and the sources, of course. So it provides a broader perspective on an employee's performance, including their character and their leadership capabilities. So it offers a more comprehensive view. Last one is that the fourth one is that the rating scale. So this method uses a set of a predetermined criteria for evaluation. So with each criterion weighted to calculate an overall score at the end of the review. So it considers various criteria from job tasks to behavioral traits and balances results through weighing. Last one is that management by objectives. So this method involves getting attainable performance goals in collaboration between employees and, of course, the managers. So the goal are reviewed at subsequent periods, progress is assessed, and new goals are established. So it fosters dialogue and empowers employees in their career development. So these modern methods of performance appraisal offer different approaches to assess employees' performance, provide feedbacks, and of course, the most important is to set goals. So organizations can choose any of the method that aligns best with their objectives and culture to enhance performance management practices. So that's all about performance appraisal. Now let's move on to one of the example of the performance management tool, which is the behaviorally anchored rating scale. Now, what is BARS? Behaviorally anchored rating scale, or BARS, is a tool for evaluating employees in a defined set of performance dimensions by comparing their behaviors with specific behavior examples that anchor each performance levels, usually in a 5, 7, or 9-point scale. So in a 5-point scale, it typically ranges from 1 is the lowest and 5 is the highest. In a 7-point scale, this scale might range from also 1, but it provides strongly disagree, 7, which is strongly agree. And the last one, which is the 9-point scale might span from 1, which is the unsatisfactory, to 9, which is the outstanding. The use of BARS in performance evaluation offers several advantages, including increased objectivity and, of course, clarity in assessing employee performance. So it provides specific behavioral examples that serve as anchors for different levels of performance. It can reduce ambiguity and subjectivity in in the evaluation process. Further, bars can support strength-based coaching throughout the year while also serving as a comprehensive summary review at the end of the evaluation period. So, bars in performance management is nearly a 60-year-old concept. So, one reason it has persisted this long, that organizations still pour time and resources into building and maintaining these scales, is that it is defensible. It's hard to challenge judgments based on direct observation of behavior. So, how can behavioral anchored based rating scale fit into your talent practices today and in the future, and how do you develop one? So, this is the steps on how to develop behaviorally anchored rating scale. First is that collect critical incidents. So in this initial step, subject matter experts gather specific examples of behaviors related to the performance dimension being evaluated. These critical incidents represent a real-world scenarios or situations that can demonstrate various levels of performance. Next one is that identify performance dimensions. This dimension represents the specific aspects of performance that need evaluation. So, for example, you need evaluation with the teamwork, communication, problem solving, and many more. So, third is that reclassify the incidents. So, experts collaboratively review the collected incidents. So, they group similar incidents together based on their relevance to specific performance level. So, the goal is to create distinct categories that align with different performance outcomes. So, fourth one is that assign scale values to the incidents. So now, each incident is associated with a numerical rating. From scale values, example 1 to 5, 1 to 7, like what I've said earlier, the 5, 7, and 9 point scale represent performance levels. So for instance, level 1 needs improvement, so that was the lowest performance. Level 3 meets expectations, and level 5 exceeds expectation, which is the highest performance. Next one is that develop a final instrument. So in developing final instrument, using the categorized incidents and assigned scale values, comprehensive bars instrument is created. It ensures that assessments are anchored by some specific examples, making the evaluation process more objective and, of course, consistent. So always remember that bars, or the behaviorally anchored rating scale, combines the best of both worlds. It incorporates behavioral examples while maintaining a structured rating scale for performance assessment. So this is the example of bars. This is a 7-point scale. Now, what are the pros and cons of using a behaviorally anchored rating scale? Most industry-leading companies have moved toward continuous feedback. However, they still need annual reviews to create metrics for differentiating among employees to pay increases and internal promotions. So they need a structure that can support strength-based coaching through the year and serve as a summary review at the end of the period. So bars can do both functions well, and you can use it in combination with the other feedback methods. So continuous feedback is a modern approach that many industry-leading companies have, of course, adopted it. So, however, annual reviews are still necessary for creating metrics to differentiate employees for pay increases and, of course, promotions. So, what are the advantages of using bars? First is that it gives validity. So job holders and their supervisors who know the job develop the behavior descriptions. Their expertise creates construct validity, which means bars measure what they are intended to measure. For example, if you evaluate whether a customer-facing employee treats visitors well, you can specify that the expected performance is greeting them with a smile. So the evaluation matches the operational definition. So their content validity, they represent actual behaviors of good customer service. Next is that easy to use. Behaviors are well defined. Managers and their employees understand them without extensive explanations or training. So as a result of this, managers don't have to spend hours writing long narratives to justify ratings. Behaviors are present or they are not. Next is clear standards. Bars create mutual understanding between managers and their employees on what they are reviewing and opportunities for improvements. The understanding facilitates a developmental discussion. Next, consistent. So behavioral statements are simple and straightforward. There is a little variance regardless of who is the assessed and the assessor. Next one is that individualized. There are commonalities among roles across the organization, but each position in the organization will have a unique set of role-related behaviors. And the last one is that impartial. The focus is on behavior, not the value of the person being evaluated, which enables frank and open discussions. So now, let's move on with the disadvantages of using behaviorally anchored rating scale. First one is that it is time-consuming. So developing a comprehensive set of behavior as examples for each performance dimension can be time-consuming and resource-intensive. So it requires careful observation and analysis of job-related behaviors, which may not always be visible in busy work environments. So especially in businesses with similar roles, it can be a burden on managers to discuss the performance of 60 or more behaviors with each individual. So in industries like contract sectors, first-level manager often have a span of control up to 30 workers. So that's many. So next one is that it is expensive. So developing a BARS requires a job analysis and advanced skills to review behavioral statements written by subject matter experts. So you may meet an industrial psychologist or consulting company service. Experienced workers, supervisors, and HR staff must be away from their jobs to write down this kind of behaviors. Next one is that subjectivity in development. Despite efforts to ensure objectivity, the development of behavior example for each performance level can still involve some subjectivity. So, if different evaluators may interpret behaviors differently, so leading to inconsistencies in the application of using the bars. Next one is that difficulty in calibration. So ensuring consistency among different evaluators when using bars can be challenging. So why it is challenging? Because there may be variations in how different managers interpret and rate behaviors. So leading to potential discrepancies in evaluations across the organizations. And the last one is that leniency bias. So bars removes or reduces many bias errors, but it doesn't eliminate leniency error. So the assessor must focus on each behavior in the review. So that's all for my report about the performance appraisal and of course one of the performance management tool, which is the behaviorally anchored rating scale. So I hope you learned something from my report, and this is for my references. Thank you for listening and good day, everyone.